For more than 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter in our community. From our studios in St. Clair, you're watching Focus with Paul Dingeman.
Welcome to another edition of the Focus program. My name is Paul Dingeman. We are glad that you are along. We are here in our new studios as they are being built in the City Hall of St. Clair after our recent move from our building on 6th Street. We've got a very interesting show lined up for you today. We've got 4 segments, lots of things happening in the Blue Water area, and we want to tell you about them. We are going to begin with the branch lead from the St. Clair Library here in the city of St. Clair, and we're going to talk about the 150th anniversary of that building and that library, and not the building, but the library. Then representatives from Enter Stage Right will be coming along to tell us about a play they've got coming up called Over the River and Through the Woods. Should be fun. Then 5K run is coming up on Thanksgiving Day. And finally, Dave Linariski. He's got a Christmas show coming up with his band the first part of December, and that's our show. But let's begin with 2 fine ladies. Julie Aliff, the branch lead, the aforementioned branch lead of the library, St. Clair Library, and Elsa Pennywell. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Member of the Friends of the St. Clair Library.
Yes.
We are glad that you guys are here. It was a wonderful, wonderful reception you had the other night at the Murphy Inn for the celebration of the anniversary. Talk to me about that.
150 years in 1869. An association of women, the Ladies Association, put together their books and then co-joined their money and started buying books in 1869 in St. Clair, which makes us one of the oldest libraries in the state.
So let's go back to that first day. The neighborhood ladies, the ladies of the city, went ahead and brought their own books to start the library.
Right. And
Marvelous.
Then created a subscription type library, which is how many libraries of that day began, is that you bought into the library and you helped buy the books.
Wow. So from that auspicious beginnings, where was the physical building? And
it was at City Hall. The city had granted the ladies some space in which to keep the books, and they had a system where they numbered the books and kept track of them that way, so you could so-and-so checked out book 1, 7, and 12, and then they brought it back.
Marvelous, marvelous. Elsa, your involvement is with the Friends group.
Yes.
And you were responsible for organizing this 150th year anniversary?
I suppose you could say that. We had a wonderful team of people from the Friends of the Library. It was an event that Julie's been looking forward for a very long time. It's an extremely special thing to think that you live in a town that has a library system that's been that old.
Yeah.
So it was easy to get on board with all of this fun stuff and plan our event. And we were thrilled to have it at Murphy's Inn because it has the same historical.
Yeah, it's probably about the same era.
Close, yeah.
Roughly 1830 something for them and 1869 for us. So
wonderful.
Yeah, they were very welcoming, and it was a very special night. And I think the snow, although we were frightened of it, really made the night.
Oh, it made it, gave it a little more
warmer,
festive atmosphere.
Exactly.
The flowers behind us, you brought in the door. I thought that was very nice of you today. And where did you get these from?
Well, these were arranged by Silk's Flower Shop, and they were sent over by North Star Bank.
Oh, isn't that nice of them?
And Silk's also supplied the flowers for the party, but they were much too big to bring. But they're just as beautiful.
What beautiful colors. Thank you for
beautiful.
adding that to the set today. And we'll let you take them with you when you leave.
Chocolate Harbor added some candy for us to put on the table.
I
too.
ate many pieces of it that day. It was that you can't beat Chocolate Harbor chocolate. What is happening this year for you in the library?
We have a new adult programmer who just started, and so she's getting her feet wet and is welcoming ideas from the community as to what they'd like to see. We have 4 book clubs that meet. One is the Classic Book Club, one is a Ladies Book Club, one is a Cookbook Club, which has evolved to be mostly an eating club, and you are welcome to join that. And then
after that, it'll be a Weight Watchers club.
Yeah.
not yet, but soon. And then the Friends have a fantastic book club that they select their books a year in advance. They meet at the Voyager for lunch. And
Yeah.
it is
So there is food involved.
Yes, there is.
a spectacular group of people who meet to talk about books, and that one has a wide variety of nonfiction, fiction, literary, mysteries, etc. So it's a great group and a great list.
We just changed the name of that group, I'm sorry, to the Marilyn Zwang Book Club, because Marilyn was the one that started the book club, and she passed this past winter, and she was a phenomenal patriot of the library and did a lot of wonderful things for us.
How many members are in your friends group? Round figure.
Probably 30.
That's a good group.
Yeah.
That's a good group.
We don't
For the
always
book, for the book club.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, the
for-
Friends group?
The Friends group,
Oh,
more than 100.
yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
And what does the Friends Club or Friends Group do? Not the club, the book club, but the group.
They're there to support whatever events we have coming up. They, donate some money. Most of them really just support what we're doing. There are a handful, maybe 25, 30 that come on board when we have a program or we're going to have a fundraiser or we need new ideas or something. Yeah.
You have speakers from time to time, and I think you just had or are going to have the Hollyhock Commander.
Yes, and that's the Friends group put together the speakers and fund that. They do a lot of funding for summer reading, and anything that the library needs, the Friends are there to support, and it's just a wonderful situation.
So has the Hollyhock one come up, or is it over?
It is passed.
Or is it passed? Okay.
Yes,
I remember
but-
seeing the flyer, and
We're hoping to have them again another time.
good. Okay. Well, we just wanted to be able to salute you and to say what a wonderful anniversary that is, the 150th of the library that had such auspicious small start and is still important in this community and in every community.
The power of a few people coming together,
Yeah.
then and now.
Yeah. I think that as a city, we should be so proud of the library. It's almost a community center for people.
Yes.
All ages, all varieties, and so many things are going on there all the time. It's never very quiet at all. There's always cars, there's always people in there. It's a happy, fun place to go and be welcome.
You have such a wonderful children's room.
Yes.
And Jason Steyer did such a great job of
Gorgeous job.
painting it a few years ago.
And Sandy Atterbury
Yeah,
was also
Sandy Atterbury.
was also part of that. We have a new moms group that's forming. They're just starting the last couple weeks, so call us and we'll let you know what they're up to. But they're St. Clair County, and they are using our children's room, and we're just delighted.
Great. Elsa Pennywell, thank you
Yes,
very much
thank
for
you very
coming and
much.
representing the
Yes,
Friends.
my grandson will be running in that race in Marine City this
Oh, with the
weekend.
Tyler Kreilter
Yeah,
race?
yeah,
Wonderful.
yeah, yep.
And his Tyler's sister, Betsy Davenport, will be along in a few minutes here to tell us all about it. And
Great.
preview that event.
Yeah, here
So,
it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Julie, always a pleasure. Thank
Indeed.
you much.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing the flowers. I'll let you take them back, but they added so much to the set, to the focus set here. We appreciate that. We'll be back with one of our next guests in just a second. The name of the show is Elf the Musical. You've heard about it. We've got the opportunity of meeting Buddy the Elf today, and he's going to talk to us about the upcoming performance at McMorran Auditorium, right? December the 13th through the 15th, and he brought along an elf with him, Peter Frontero. Nice to see you, Peter. Welcome back to the Focus Set. Buddy, nice to meet you.
you as well.
Focus Set. It's Buddy McFadden, and you are in a very important role. Talk to me about it.
Buddy's part, basically, he starts as an elf who's not really an elf. He's a human who grows up at the North Pole, eventually finds out that he is human, and is sent down by Santa Claus.
No. Santa with a gray beard with a little bit of black in there Here, okay, Santa.
Well, we're going to make it a little wider.
Oh, you're going to make it a little wider?
That's
So
right.
He goes on this great adventure to find his dad and learn more about himself, and he thinks that his dad's going to be this amazing person, but it turns out that he's a little rough around the edges. So
That's a fun role.
oh, it's so much fun. It's a lot of energy. So I've been very lucky to have the opportunity to play Buddy.
Talk to me about Elf the musical, how many people are in the cast, those kinds of things.
About 50.
50 people.
We have ages from, I think, about 9 or 10 through, well, we'll just say senior folks. And all the children are playing elves from the North Pole.
Isn't that wonderful?
And ensemble kind of parts. And then
There's
you
some
have-
great music in it.
Oh, it's a fun show. It's got a great story, too, because it's basically a story about finding Christmas again.
Yep.
Which, to put in the middle of December, is just a wonderful time.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. So, Peter, you've been in many, many shows with Shawn Michaels and his wife producing and acting.
We've been in a few. Yeah, there's a different group directing and producing this show. But Shawn Michael, we were very proud, I guess, to say that he's joined the Port Huron Civic Theater
Yeah.
board.
Oh, good.
I've been
Oh,
on the
good.
board for years, but
Yeah.
he joined us this year, and so him and his wife Janine are just
Janine.
adding more to
Right.
the show. They'll be directing and producing Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoats in May. That's their show.
That's a wonderful play, too.
This show we have Leah Terrell and Amy Fabic. They're both directing the show, doing a really good job too.
Buddy, you've been in stuff before. You were telling me before we started that you had a directing debut a year or so ago.
Yep.
And how long you been involved in theater?
Well, most of my life I've been doing theater ever since I was a little kid, whether it was in church shows or doing stuff with civic theater. But I really started getting back into it a few years ago when time allowed for it. So I met Pete 2 years ago when we did Spam-A-Lot at McMorran. So it was a good
I think
opportunity.
that's probably when you came down to here.
Yeah, he was Sir Galahad, right?
Yeah.
All
And
right.
I was the Black Knight, and we had a blast.
Yep. So it's been a huge blessing to just be able to bring the arts to Port Huron and to be a part of the revitalization of the arts in the area.
Before we started, you and I were talking about the fact that theater is alive and well up and down the Bluewater area, from Marine City, as we all know, all the stuff they're doing, up through the Citadel and the Port Huron Civic Theater and up to the Barn Theater.
Right.
So it's wonderful.
We've, what's really wonderful is that the diversity too. Snug in the riverbank, they're smaller theaters.
Yeah.
They do really nice shows, and then we have the Citadel, which is a black box
Right.
up in Port Huron, and they do shows. And then with Port Huron Civic Theater, we try to do the big family shows
Yep.
in the big theater. And
Yeah.
so far, it's a good, successful combination for all of us in the county.
And it's renewed the interest in theater. I think it waned for a while a few years ago, and it's great to see. It's great to see.
Right. Now, what a lot of people don't know, though, is we all work together, including with the high schools and everything. So we're real fortunate that we're bringing this community back with a lot of theater.
13th through the 15th of December at McMorran. What are tickets? How can I get them? What are the show times?
Show times, we do a senior show at 2 o'clock on Friday, and all seniors, I think above 62 years old, get in for $5.
Oh, that's
Parking.
wonderful.
Yeah. And then we do an 8 o'clock show. Tickets are $12 and $15 for seniors, and children are $12, and then adults are $15. And those prices go through the whole weekend. We do an 8 on Friday, we do a 3 and an 8 on Saturday, and then a 3 o'clock on Sunday.
That's a lot of performances.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's theater. That's
Every-
what it's all about.
That's right. Yeah, right. You don't want to just do a show once or twice. You want to do it many, many times.
Fun.
So.
Yeah.
Well, buddy, any words of wisdom for other elves? Or
Best words of wisdoms I have are the best way to spread Christmas cheer is to sing out loud for all to hear.
Oh, I like that one. I like that. Is it a copyrighted?
I don't know. You can edit it out.
Oh, okay. I can edit that.
Post production.
And how your daughter was in here a couple of years ago, and,
Yeah.
and she said she's at Marysville High School.
Yeah,
and
she's doing theater there in choir with Mike Martin, who's another
yeah,
one who's just adding so much to the community, so
Yeah.
it's really good.
good.
And she'll be doing, I think they're doing Beauty and the Beast, and she has great hopes of auditioning there.
Great. Peter, always good to see you.
Always a pleasure.
right.
Good to see you, Paul.
Seeing you.
Thank you.
Meeting you for the first time.
Thank you.
We'll be back with our next guest in just a second. Welcome back to the Focus Set. We're glad you are along. Coming up is Thanksgiving, and on Thanksgiving there's a very unique 5K run that is coming along for Tyler Kreilter. Did I pronounce it right?
Kreilter.
Kreilter. Okay, you got a little extra
Yeah.
twist in there.
Yeah.
And Tyler was your brother,
Yes.
and in a few years ago we lost Tyler.
3 years ago.
3 years ago already. And so you guys as a family decided to come up with a celebratory run, because he loved to run.
Yes. Well, actually, so it wasn't my family. It was actually Amy, his cross
That
country
Amy,
coach.
she's a
this
troublemaker.
and Alicia Haney and Kara Hoke and Blake Haney. So Kara and Blake are friends of Ty's. Alicia is Blake's mom. And they approached us a few days after Ty passed away and said they'd like to honor Ty with a race.
How much did Ty run?
A lot. So
Did you run with him?
she
Yes,
did.
regularly.
Yeah.
Okay. Lots of 5Ks, lots of,
Yeah, 5Ks and even just regular day-to-day runs. You know, he was always out running. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So
So,
he ran cross country in high school, and then he ran cross country collegiately at SC4 as
okay.
well.
So talk to me about this year's event. It's going to be on Thanksgiving Day. What time does it start?
So the first race we start at 9 a.m. Yes, I don't know why I'm thinking, because I'm thinking we get there at like 5 a.m. right to
Right.
set up and everything. Yeah. So the 1 mile starts at 8:30 a.m. and then the 5K starts at 9 a.m. And so it's an incredible run. It's a wonderful way to start your Thanksgiving. It's very inspirational, very motivating. It's for all runners. We really there's so many people that this is their first race. It could be their first 1 mile, their first 5K. It's a walk, run, however you want to get across the finish line. And every person who completes, whether it's the 1 mile or the 5K, gets a finisher's medal. So I brought these along.
Let me see one.
So these are custom
Yeah, I saw
medals.
them.
This was last year's. And that was actually modeled after Ty's cross country shoe from SC4. So, and if you turn around on the back too, there's even, it's engraved. So,
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
it's engraved on the back.
yeah,
I'll turn around the front again here. That's really, and those are shoelaces.
yeah. Everyone had shoelaces.
That is
on
really
there.
unique.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
what's the next one here?
So this one was the year before. So that was
Oh, okay.
2017. And that one is actually modeled after Amy and her husband Dale had. Why don't you go ahead and tell them about that? Something made.
There's a memorial plaque for him out by the tree at East China Park.
Uh-huh.
And that's what that's modeled after.
It's his memorial
Oh,
plaque.
okay. And this was 2016?
That was the first year. That was 2016. So this is actually, so my brother passed away 3 years ago, but this is our 4th annual because they had one the year that he passed away, and then we've had one. ever since.
And Amy, as a runner, you know that people just love to collect these things, don't
I
they?
know. Yes, that's very true.
Uh,
and these are
And these are not
excellent.
cheap.
No.
With the rubber on them and
No.
the
These are
the
very
time
nice
it takes to do the shoelaces and everything.
Isn't that incredible?
These are very
We're
rewarding.
really proud of these.
Yeah.
And this year, and we put so much thought into these, so much thought into everything that has, to do with the race. So this year, the inspiration came from Tyler's tree. So
Okay.
in 2016, when he passed away, the cross country team donated a maple tree to East China Park. And so it's pretty amazing is when they have cross country meets out there, they
Oh,
run to Ty's
cool.
tree
Yeah.
and they turn at Ty's
Oh,
tree.
that's cool.
So
That's
this
really
year's
cool.
medal is really amazing, and actually even the ribbon on the medal for this year mimics the changing color of the trees in the fall. So
The money that goes that you make from this, what happens with
why
it?
don't you go ahead and share?
The money goes towards, at most, 2 scholarships for local area runners who just have the essence that Tyler brought to the team and to running and just to life in general. And we try to find student athletes who embody that.
That's great. And so it helps them continue their education. And,
Right.
Yeah, and our focus is really, like Amy said, is how Ty was a leader. And he was a leader by motivating others, by encouraging others, and being that inspirational teammate.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why we say we're not looking for your number one runner. We're not looking for the stellar student. We're just looking for someone who is passionate about running and really supported their team.
how many runners round figures in the last few years?
About right around 300.
300, that's very good.
Yeah, it really
That's
is,
very good
especially
for a-
considering
for a fairly new.
And
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, the first race, when they approached us about it, they figured they were expecting about 30 people. They figured, just his close
Yeah,
friends and
close
family.
friends and-
And between the runners and volunteers, we had about 500 people the first year. So even in the years, in the past years, even last year and this year, it takes a lot of volunteers. So when we're talking 300, that's just the participants, and we have so many more dedicated volunteers
And sponsors.
and sponsors.
Wow.
Yeah.
Got a bunch of sponsors too,
Yes.
that's wonderful.
Amazing sponsors.
Amazing what the community's been doing.
Yeah.
How do I get more information? How do I register?
All right. So you can go on our Facebook page.
Okay, and that is?
The Friendsgiving Tyler Kreilter Memorial
I
Run.
love the name, Friendsgiving.
Great. Yeah, that was is it the Haneys that came
Yeah.
up with that as our play on the Thanksgiving with the friendship and all of that. And then also if you Google run sign up Friendsgiving Tyler Kreilter, it'll pop right up there for you.
Okay. Amy, did we miss anything? Nothing?
Come on out and enjoy it.
Come on out
Really
and
make it
enjoy.
a tradition. We have so many families that come out. Sorry, get a little.
fine.
Families, the kids, anybody, young, old, and it's really, truly, you can feel it when you're there.
That's what I was just about to say, too.
Yeah.
The feel of this race and the event, it's a beautiful way to start Thanksgiving morning. Beautiful.
It just fills your heart,
Yeah.
and it's not just even for people who didn't know Ty.
Right.
Of course, it's very fulfilling for us in that way to continue his legacy. But
Right.
even without knowing Ty, you get a really true feeling of that legacy. And I do want to add that one of the ways that we do that is we line the race course with inspirational quotes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and so that was actually something, in the hours and days after my brother passed away, I started going through his social media feeds, right? And so I, being a little older than him, I'm not very active on Twitter like he was, but I was going through his Twitter, and he tweeted so many inspirational quotes. And so that was something that when they had talked about doing the race, I said, hey, what do you think about if we put some of these inspirational quotes on signs? And so we lined the whole course with inspirational quotes.
The course is the East China Park.
No.
No.
Actually, it's downtown Marine City. Good, I'm glad you brought that up.
I thought, didn't it?
It
wasn't
did
it-
start.
That's the first, yeah.
First year.
Yeah. With weather, it's kind of hard, and plus East China Park closes by that time, so it's a lot for them to do that. So we actually have it in downtown Marine City.
Okay,
It
well,
starts
so
at
what's the
Mariner
route?
Pavilion by the beach.
Yeah, it's
Starts
through
at
the
the-
streets of downtown Marine City.
Okay. But you meet at
The pavilion.
At the pavilion
By the
by the beach. Okay. So that's the start and finish?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then you get a nice tour of downtown Marine City.
Yeah.
And we, for those that are worried about time, we're very respectful of people's time on Thanksgiving. We want you to come out, have a great time, but also know that we're there to get you in and out. And we know that people have to Thanksgiving lunch, Thanksgiving dinner, all of it,
Right.
They got time to do it. So
Amy, always a pleasure.
Yeah,
Good seeing
thank
you.
you. You too.
thanks so much.
Nice
Paul.
seeing you.
Yes.
Not a problem. Back with our next guest in just a second. Music, music, music. That's what this man sitting next to me provides. Dave Linariski, ladies and gentlemen, right here in the studio. Nice to see
Wonderful
you.
music. Thank you. Thank you, Paul. Good to be here.
You are celebrating the holiday season
Yes, we are.
with a special event coming up. Talk to me about it.
Well, what we're doing is the band has been in Nashville for the last year, and we have a new album coming out in March of 2020. And before we do that, we thought we'd get everybody in the Christmas spirit. And so we have a concert. We have actually 4 concerts coming up, but one is actually right here in our hometown, St. Clair.
Talk to me about being in Nashville all year. What is this about?
We actually, it started where I went out for some songwriting with some people in Aspen, Colorado.
Okay.
It turned out they listened to some of the songs that we wrote, RTG wrote, and said, come to Nashville. We had a producer there, and it's just turned out to be, we got to record you guys. And so it was being at the right place at the right time.
And a little bit of help from God.
A little help from God for sure.
Is it all religious music?
Yeah, it's called CCM. So it's CCM stands for Contemporary Christian Music.
Okay.
So it's basically a lot of the styles of contemporary music today in the pop rock style and so forth, but with a faith-based lyrics. And it goes out to all the churches. We're with CCLI, which is a licensing company to over 500,000 churches. And so worship and praise teams from around the world in the United States could actually print off our music and play our music in their churches and worship teams. And it's just working out fabulous.
Do you get a residual?
Well, yes, of course.
Wonderful.
That all starts happening. Of course, those things are, millions and millions of likes and out there for that. But still, it's something that our purpose is to try to get the music and the words out.
No, I understand that,
especially
but you have an effort that you put into it, and and you should be compensated some way. But
and we're on.
And I know you're not out to make money on it, necessarily.
But sooner
but
or later
like
that might come. Yeah,
it might help.
It's we're on 27 media music distributions throughout the world. And so it's really taken off, and this
all from a little band that started in
band,
St. Clair, Michigan.
Right in St. Clair, Michigan, and it's just amazing. And we started writing 2016, and did a couple little tours with some other bands, and started writing and said that's what we want to do. So it's been wonderful. I can't enjoy it even any better than right now when you're songwriting and you see your music being produced and something comes out of it.
Probably performed by other people too. It makes it enjoyable.
That would be that's really nice, especially when worship teams around in all the churches can actually play your music.
Right.
So we're very excited about it, and we're coming to St. Clair for what we call Christmas in St. Clair, and it's at the Emmanuel Lutheran Church on 9th and Vine.
Nice facility.
And they've got a great place, great acoustics. The tickets are selling. In fact, they're selling pretty good. So I expect a full house, and it's December 7th on Saturday at 7:00, and we're looking forward. It's not a recital or anything. It's a concert. So people are going to be up on their feet, and they'll be able to enjoy what we do.
And as they say at all concerts, there'll be CDs in the lobby.
Oh, of course, of course. It's we definitely have a merchandise table, and so we have shirts and CDs and all that.
T-shirts?
Oh, we have all that, and I should have brought some just to show everybody. But we do have all the merchandise. That's big when you're traveling.
Yeah.
Is when you do your concerts, you definitely have merchandise table.
How many years have you been performing? Since high school, grade school?
Oh yeah, I'd say without showing my age or anything, I've been performing for 42 years.
Okay.
I started when I was 14 years old in my mother and father's traveling band back then. And,
they were musicians?
They were musicians, our family, yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so it's...
Religious music at the time?
No.
Just contemporary music?
Back then, my mom and dad and myself, my brother, played. It was weddings almost every weekend because there's no such thing as DJs.
Right.
So there was a wedding band, and we traveled all over the place every weekend playing weddings, and 14 I was playing my guitar, and 15 my brother was playing drums, and my mother sang, and my dad played the accordion.
I was going to say the accordion.
Yeah, and so it was fun. It was fun being brought up in the big family and doing that.
Family too.
Yeah.
We were together every weekend. So
it's awesome, and I just think that getting something, especially in this area, December 7th is way before kind of
the rush.
busy rush, and it just puts people in kind of the spirit.
Your poster is a beautiful poster here too.
Thank you.
It's wonderful music. It's local music. It's a local band.
Yes.
So
we're happy to play in our hometown, and they can get tickets at Emmanuel, or they can go on eventbrite.com. And get tickets there, or they can, get a hold of me on our rtgband.com website. So,
how many CDs, how many records you done now?
This will be the full second album that we got coming out in March. And we did, in 2017, we came out with our first album. But in songwriting, it takes quite a few songs to get 9 or 10 on an album.
Yeah,
So you continue to write and something clicks, and then it all comes together. All comes together. But I'm really looking forward to bringing the music here, and we'll probably be quite a bit playing when that new release comes out in March. So we're excited.
Mr. Linariski, thank you, sir. Best to you. God
Thanks.
blessings and all the wonderful things that are happening to the band and to you.
You've been around with us for a long time too, so I thank you very much, Paul.
From Denemy, when Denemy shot a video with you.
Yeah, back he did our first Power of You. It was called
I don't know
video.
where he is today.
It's
but
amazing.
doing-
He went to school for that same thing.
Yeah, right.
It's amazing. You've done a lot with a lot of the help that's come through here. So, and he took that on as his career.
We hope he did.
Yep, good
Good
for him.
kid. That's about it, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you get to the concert coming up on December the 7th. That's about it for this edition of the Focus program. Thanks very much for tuning in. Till next time, I'm Paul Dingeman. See you soon.
Thanks for watching Focus with Paul Dingeman. Focus is produced at the CTV Community Television Studios in St. Clair. For over 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter to our community.
You rolling? Okay. 5, 4, 3. Christmas time is coming, and it's very important that all the little boys and girls see Buddy the Elf, and he's here in the studio, and he's going to be at the Elf, the musical, coming up at McMorran. You can't hear me. Did I?
We got Buddy the Elf here.